Hello, YouTube. My name is Don Beaton, and I'm the author of The Return Viewer's Guide. Today is Sunday, July 30th, 2017. And as of today, there probably are 300 days until the ancient object of the crossing down returns back to our solar system through between the moon and the earth. What is the Return Viewer's Guide? The Return Viewer's Guide is an attempt by me to try to document the celestial object that I saw crossing between the moon and the earth. I was a 12-year-old boy in 1972, and I believe it may have been May 25th, 1972, and my old friend Mike invited me over to his house to look at the moon using his new telescope. And that's what we did. And then his dad came out to help us because we were not using the right power, and we didn't have the telescope set up in the proper spot on the concrete or the asphalt. We were in the grass, and we couldn't get it right. His dad came out and set it up, and then I finally got a clear view of the moon. And then it was my turn again. I looked, and instead of the moon, I found myself looking straight into the middle of the most fantastic forward rolling celestial object, astronomical object, and everything goes from there. And so this is my attempt to document the object, document what happens, because it's not just the object that happens. The object intercepts and transforms the light from the moon, and I saw that with the telescope. My total view lasted less than a minute, probably in the range of 40 to 50 seconds, and it has had an impact on me ever since. And today, I know that there's a good possibility that the object will be back soon, because one thing's for sure, the object orbits and it will be back. And I believe it may have been seen in front of the moon May 24th, 1926. Right here, the big place rolled down and obscured the moon's disk. That was the description online, obscured the moon's disk. I just happen to know the big place rolls down. But in the meantime, since then, I have been able to get the report of that sighting, and I will talk about that eventually. And there's a I have a page on it. Mr. Spill's report is featured on that page, and I will get into that eventually. But this video is mainly all about um, the website, what the object is, the fact that it's coming back. It's a way to start doing something again. I haven't done a blog talk radio podcast in quite a while. I have some good shows on there on blog talk radio, and some lesser shows, and all of them have flaws. And just like these videos will have flaws. I'm not perfect. I'm not a writer, but I wrote the Return Viewer's Guide. And I should have mentioned earlier on that all the content is free. I don't sell information. My book's content is free in this website found online here. And um, the point is, you can see too, there's nothing, um, there's, when it comes to seeing the object and the changed light, it's just about looking at the right time. You don't need to believe anything or know anything. In fact, the less you know, maybe the better. That was me, because if I had been an adult when I saw that object rolling basically straight at me, it seemed like, because I had no sense, it wasn't going to hit me, because In the telescope, I had this very different kind of perspective. But I would have been running if I had known any better. I don't know where to, but I wouldn't have been standing there just looking in wonder like I was that night. It's a difficult thing. The object rolls basically towards the Earth from the face of the moon as it crosses from the upper left corner down to the moon's lower right corner. And when it does, it intercepts and changes the moon and then casts shadows into the moon's changed light from these crater rim pieces. And this is the heart of what actually happens. And so it's too big for me. I'm trying to do the right thing. Um, my website is an attempt to try to do the right thing and to get the idea out there. People don't need to believe anything I say I saw, but if they've heard the idea of what happens, then when the object comes back, they're going to see that they have foreknowledge, because in fact, I did see the object, and this is what happens. So the object of the crossing down will return as usual, as always. It looks like perhaps 46 years and 1 day could be the orbit, and that puts it at May 26th, 2018, 300 nights from tonight. Uh, the object is at the core of who we are. We can thank the object for us being here, as it turns out. The fact is, Thea returns. It never was absorbed into the Earth. It hit the early Earth and just kept going, and then orbited back down through between the moon and the Earth. And all three bodies have evolved together, and the Earth and Moon in perfect resonance with the object. And the evidence for that is the way that the change light event from the moon happens and repeats in exact detail every time. So it's a fantastic thing. And of course, no one is going to believe me until they see this for themselves, or people realize that this is happening. And that's where it falls on the astronomers, because once they realize that their uh, observations and my descriptions of the object match, it's vitally important that they say so, because that's evidence of a safe return. The object was very likely here in 1926. I saw it in 1972, went home to bed, got up the next morning and had breakfast, ate my cereal, staring at the radio, wondering when I was going to hear something about what just happened last night, but nothing happened. That's a whole nother story. But in the meantime, there is such a thing as a safe return. So I will add uh, videos over time here, and I will get into some details about what happens, and I will comment. I will include some comments, and I'll show you my website and the simple navigation that I have, and I will get into the details of what happens when the ancient object of the crossing down returns. It crosses down in front of the moon. It changes the light from the moon and the light from the background of space. And it turns out it's a fantastic thing, and I'm very lucky. And it took me a long time to realize that, although I knew I'd seen something extraordinary. It took me the greater part of my life to really be able to understand it the way I do, at least to whatever point, and I'm just scratching the surface. No one will ever be able to put all this together. This is the big thing that happens. It is the actual greatest thing in history. Return Viewer's Guide. My website address is returnviewersguide.ca, and I hope you get a chance to check it out, and thank you for watching this video.